truth, that's the problem. And you'll find men not telling the truth because they don't want to start an argument, which is not a healthy relationship to be in. That's not healthy at all. You want to be in a relationship where you can openly, freely say and express who you are to your partner and say, hey, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, without having the fear of being shot down or starting a fight because you were just honest about what your opinions were or what your thought was. Remember, y'all dating each other here, so y'all need to be open with yourselves and open with what y'all talking about. So if you're gonna... What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Nerdy Dating. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What is Nerdy Dating? It is a relationship podcast where we just give relationship advice from a viewpoint from a nerd. So let's go and get into today's topic. But wait a minute, before I do that though, I do want to let you guys know, you guys want me to answer a question on the show, please put in the comment section below, or you can send it to me on my Instagram, TikTok, and another thing you can send it to is my Gmail, which is alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. Put that email, I'll answer the show. Also, you can send it to me via TikTok and Instagram. It is alizakkanerdydating or nerdy dating with Ali Zakka. Pretty much any form of that, you'll find us and we'll answer the question on the show. Now, let's go and get today's topic here. Idris Elba recently just said, women fall in love with what they hear, men fall in love with what they see. That's why women wear makeup and why men lie. Do I agree with that? Answer is no. I don't agree with that. I can't speak from the viewpoint of makeup because I'm, not a woman. But societally, the reason why women wear makeup because societally they have been told. Women and people believe that we've been told that women should wear makeup to look beautiful and look gorgeous versus the natural look. It's a societal thing. Society has made money off women for years for that. That's where that comes from. That's why women wear makeup. And you ask a lot of women why they wear makeup. It's not because they want to try to impress their man or impress men. It's because they want to look good. They want to look beautiful. Makeup help enhance their features, make them look more beautiful than what they are. Like for me, I love a girl's natural beauty. I would love that. Like I really don't care for makeup. You can say like, oh, Ali, so-and-so wear makeup, this person wear makeup, that person wear makeup, fine. I enjoy makeup, but I love natural beauty. That is my viewpoint. Makeup, I'll take it or leave it. Makeup on, baby, you still look nice. Without makeup, baby, you look gorgeous. Like either way, like I can go without makeup. I'm perfectly fine with that. But the reason why most women wear makeup from society's standpoint is because they want to look good. They want to look beautiful. And society has fed that like women should wear makeup to enhance themselves. Versus no, their actual looks are gorgeous. You don't need to wear makeup. As far as why men lie, people lie. It's not a men thing. People lie. Men lie, that's not a good reason. Like if you talk to somebody, an honest guy will tell you his truth, he'll tell you his feelings, he'll tell you his thoughts. Like he's not gonna lie to you. Even if the truth might come off harsh, like he will tell you the honest truth. And if you ask him a question that like, okay, if you ask him a question, he gives an honest answer and you get upset at the honest answer, you might find a guy who will try to find ways to not to make the truth less harsh. Like he won't, like you realize, like for example, babe, I look good in this outfit. He already think you look gorgeous, but if you ask him this question and he gives you the honest answer to say, babe, I really don't like that outfit, I think it looks trash, but you enjoy that outfit, you will be upset at him and there'll be a whole argument. So sometimes to avoid an argument, to avoid a fight or whatever the case may be, we might say, hey, you know what? I think it looks nice on you. I think you look gorgeous without the outfit. But, the outfit, I don't find the outfit appealing. Or he might say the lines like, I think it looks good on you. Look good, baby, look good in wherever you wear. That way, he's kind of like pretty much saying like, hey, I don't really like the outfit. But at the same time, he knows that you like it. He's going to say you look good. He's not going to say you going out there look like a fool. No, he's like, you look good. I like you regardless of what outfit you wear. Like, it's not men lying, it's if he's looking at it that way, men lying because they don't want to hurt. Like it's because sometimes we don't want to just get an argument. If it's something that's a topic that's not a big deal, like, oh, what do you think about the drapes? The color black is not my color. I probably prefer red, but it looks nice, babe. Like I'm okay with it, whatever. I'm not gonna be sitting here like, oh, we gotta fight for the red. No, like, It looks nice. I know you like it. I'm cool with it. Drapes are fine. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and start an argument over drapes. Like, there's certain things you look at where like, it's not worth arguing over. If you're gonna ask a man a question and it's for the purpose of starting an argument, whether you don't like the truth or not, and you want to start an argument because you don't like the truth, that's the problem. And you'll find men not telling the truth because they don't want to start an argument, which is not a healthy relationship to be in. That's not healthy at all. You want to be in a relationship where you can openly, freely say and express who you are to your partner and say, hey, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, without having the fear of being shot down or starting to fight because you were just honest about what your opinions were or what your thought was. Remember, y'all dating each other here, so y'all need to be open with yourselves and open what y'all talking about. So if you're gonna start an argument over a question that you asked the question, over an answer that you asked the question for, you asked that question and they gave you the answer, and you start arguing over that, that's the problem. That's where it comes into. So if Idris Elba is saying men lie because they don't want to answer they don't want to start an argument over the answer. But other than that, like, if just men lie in general, because women fall in love with what they hear. So men lie, that's not the reason why men lie. Like, if they fall in love with what they hear, I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear. Do you want to be in a relationship? Ask yourself this question though. Do you want to be in a relationship with somebody who lies to you because they just want to feed you everything you want to hear? Or you want to be in a relationship with somebody who's 100% honest with you, and even though the answer you get might not be the answer you want to hear, it's the answer that it's the right answer from him. That's what he feels is the answer. And there's like, or especially his opinion. If he feels his opinion and he give you his thoughts on his opinion, you can't get mad at him for that. You can't get mad at him for that. Now, it's some like Google facts like, hey, the grass is green, the sky is blue. And he's like, no, grass is purple and the sky is red. Google will have to answer that one for you guys. Like, hey, you know what? You can tell me that all you want, but here's Google. Here's the answer. Take it or leave it. So, yeah, with that being said, that's where I don't agree with Idris on that. Like, the reason why men lie, I don't agree with that at all. Just be upfront and honest. And if you're in a relationship where you can't be honest with your partner, and you can't tell your partner, openly express to them and openly say things to them, and you're always on eggshell whether you can say something to them because you're afraid that they're gonna blow up or get mad or get upset, then you need to get out of that relationship. It's not a healthy relationship to be in. You don't want to be in a toxic relationship because at the end of the day, it's not healthy for you. I'm gonna leave it at that. And real quick, before I move on, because we're gonna do TikTok videos in this episode, Idris Elba, why are you lying? Like, why do you think it's okay to lie? You're Idris Elba. Like, if you find somebody who's gonna argue with you over you being honest, do you really need to be in a relationship with that person? Like, do you feel comfortable in your relationship, Idris? I just have to know. Because you should not be lying worth the dang, but that's just my thought. Like, come on, Idris, be smarter than that. I don't know. Like, you shouldn't be in a relationship where you feel like you need to lie to avoid conflict. Like, nah. But all right, moving on. We're going to react to some TikTok videos here. All right, so this first one here is from tonight's conversation. Let's see what they are talking about. Here we go.
If I can enjoy the company of another woman, I'm down for it. But I don't want another touching my wife. Is that an ego thing or is that immaturely responsible?
No, the question you asking don't solve the issue. The issue come in is like, do your wife want to explore with other men? Because then when we talk about fairness,
she right there. Let's ask her.
She's
the ball tickets. Bring her up.
You cool with him and other?
I got y'all. Yes.
Okay.
Let's make sure we clear here. Okay. All right. Every now and again, I might want a little bit extra.
Period. She want a little extra dick.
You know, we're in a society where, 12 years in a relationship with somebody is a very long time.
Right.
Yeah.
And just being honest, right? I have been honest with my husband and said, okay, well, I thought about it, but I want to make sure if that's something that I'm going to do,
that he's comfortable.
that he can live with that.
Yeah.
Correct. Because at the end of the day, that's still my husband.
Okay, I kind of want to repeat his question one more time.
If I can enjoy the company of another woman, I'm down for it. But I don't want another touching my wife. Is that an ego thing or is that immaturely responsible?
It's ego.
Yeah, it's an ego thing. It's an ego thing to answer your question because you do not want, you're afraid your girl's gonna leave you, or the case would be you're not comfortable enough. I don't think you're not comfortable enough in your relationship, but it's an ego thing. You don't feel confident that you and your girl, you can be with another woman, and your woman can be with another man and not leave you for the other guy. You don't feel confident and comfortable in that scenario. So it's an ego thing, yes. Now, I like how they say, okay, that's not the issue here, because yes, you can say you're gonna be underneath another woman and be down with that, but you don't want your woman to be underneath another man. How does your woman feels about it? And she said, husband, go for it. I'm fine with that. Now, are you okay with me? Because she's like, I thought about it. Been in a relationship for 12 years. 12 years. She is comfortable with him going off to somebody else and knowing that he's not going to leave her and he going to come back to her. But she's like, I want to be mindful of him to say like, hey, if I go do this, we'll be okay with that. So that's come to a conversation with both of them. He's like, I'm not okay with that, but she's okay with him being with other women. So they're honest with each other. That's what it comes down to, honesty, communication, and they've had that honesty and communication. They're talking about it. So respect to that, respect to them on the forefront of them having a conversation and understanding what the dynamics of the relationship is. And I've been talking about, open relationships on this podcast last couple of episodes, because the question that come across have been about, well, my, boyfriend want to go off and explore with other people. My husband want to go off and explore with other people. My girlfriend want to go off and explore with other people. How should I feel about this? I want to be monogamous. They want to be, polyamorous or open, or whatever the case may be. I don't want to be open. And they had this conversation. She's like, I'm down to be open. I'm okay with being open, but are you okay with me being open? And she's like, I'm okay with you being open and going to talk to other people. Like, that right there, it's not like they're in some version of their own open relationship with they're comfortable with. They have that conversation. Have a conversation. What do your partner see you with? Where your partner coming from? See with both sides there and what works for you guys. Every relationship is going to be different. Everybody's going to have different ways they handle their relationship. How they handle their relationship is how they handle it. So I like the fact the wife was there and the wife was able to come up and also speak to it, not just the husband speaking on or the girlfriend. Actually, what was the wife?
The question you asking don't solve the issue. The issue come in is like, do your wife want to explore with other men? Because
so I 100%. I like that. I think that's right here. The reason why I played this video, because I think it's the best way to handle that kind of situation. They both had a conversation. They both talked about it. He's not coming with her going with another man, but she's perfectly fine with him being with another woman. So yeah, it works for them. It works for them. All right, next video. And this is another tonight's conversation. All right, let's see what this one's about.
Is it bad to friend zone people or kind of kick them to the side once you realize the physical isn't what you expected?
Trip. Here's where it would be up. If you've put this person in the friend zone that you're not attracted to physically, so you can still have access to them without investing in them romantically, then yes, you're f***ed up.
No, I may be attracted to them physically, but when it comes down to like, I don't like the way they kiss my lips, top or bottom, I'm just not feeling the way they do it.
I mean for any reason.
Any reason, okay.
It's time to cut them off. If you've relegated somebody to the friend zone for the sole purpose of still having access to them, you're f***ed up.
Okay.
If you know you don't rock with them like that, then go ahead and get them completely out the paint.
I agree with him. Yeah. I'm going to play the question one more time for you guys so you guys can hear that question again. But I agree with him.
Is it bad to friend zone people or kind of kick them to the side once you realize the physical isn't what you expected?
Trip. Here's where...
Yeah. Like, is it bad? It's not a bad thing. I don't go with, what he said, what Trip said about like... It's only bad if you keep them around to use them for, like, okay, I had nobody to go to. I had nobody else to go to. I'm going to go to my friend zone and say, hey, I know we had a thing, a couple months ago. I know we had a thing a year ago. I'm lonely now. Do you want to try that again? Like, give somebody false hope. It's bad to lead somebody on. Is it bad to like put them in the friend zone because you don't find them sexually attractive? You're not the sexual chemistry is not matching you? No, that's not bad at all, because you have needs, you have desires. Go take care of your needs. Go take care of that. So do not, if somebody else can't deliver that and you try to communicate and they're still not delivering, and y'all not in a, 5-year marriage or 10-year marriage or whatever the case may be, y'all not, solidifying, it just isn't what you're trying, it just not isn't working out. It's okay to be like, hey, I like you. It just, we're not having the chemistry I want to have. I'm okay with being friends. I just don't see this going longer than where we're at right now. Be upfront and honest with them and let them be like, okay, well, thank you. Because that person's going to make the choice to be like, well, thank you for letting me know. They're going to be hurt, for one. But thank you for letting me know. And they want to be friends. They can stay friends. He's like, hey, can we still be friends? They're cool with that. They're cool with that. They're not cool with being friends, then they'll go. But you want to be upfront and honest with them. Say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I don't want to lead you on any longer, but I'm okay with keeping you around. I'm okay with you being a friend. I'm okay being friends. I just don't want to, I don't see it going any more romantically. Now, it's only bad, like how Trip said, if you gonna take advantage of that person by keeping them around and relegating them to the friend zone, but still like using them like, I just need somebody to cuddle with. I'm gonna hit them up. I know they want more, but I don't want more. But I know they want more, I don't want more. I'm gonna, call them up because late at night I had nobody to cuddle with. I don't have about Cupcake Tuesday or, way back Wednesday. I don't have nobody to kick it with. But I know what's name want me. I know they're in my friend zone. I don't want them, but I can use that. That's where it gets messed up. That's where you become manipulative. That becomes where you're narcissistic and using somebody. So, yeah, no, you're only thinking about yourself in that situation. Don't do that to that person. Do not lead somebody on. It's okay to put them in the friend zone if you don't have that romantic or sexual chemistry that you're looking for, or physical chemistry that you're looking for. If it's not working out, you don't like the way somebody kisses you and you try to coach them and they don't respond well to that, or they're not trying to get better. It's okay. It's okay. That's what dating part is about, is learning whether or not you guys will be good for a relationship or not. Like, that's why you don't jump right into a relationship. Take the time to date and talk and see if you guys work well together, and that doesn't work out, then you're like, okay, well, hey, at least you tried. At least you tried. Now you know, and then you can move forward. All right, next video. This is from Tommy and Amani Talks. So let's see what they guys say on this one.
7 years until I moved across the fucking country, left all my friends, my bands behind to support his ass.
Now I have to start this off by saying, of course, no hate, no shade to that creator. But I love when I see videos like this, and it just proves my point. Cause when I told y'all, you single until you marry, ain't no ring on my finger, I can do whatever I want. And y'all in the comments like, well, how are you supposed to be chose to be a wife if you don't act like a wife while you're dating? That's y'all problems now. Y'all sit up there, y'all censor y'all lives around men, you move across the country for him, you have his kids, you cook, you clean, you wipe his ass for him, hoping to be chose to be a wife. Oh, please make me a wife out of a girlfriend. And then y'all end up like that creator. 10 years later, no ring, nothing to show for it. He up and leaves you when he's ready to, because that's what men do. And women are so programmed to be, oh, I'm just waiting until I get chose. But when I say stuff like you're single until you marry, y'all be acting lost. Y'all be like, what do you mean, sis? That's so stupid. Okay, we'll see who's stupid in the end. I mean...
He decided to wait 7 years until I moved across.
All right, so there's two things that unfold here. The first one is he decided to wait until I moved across the country and waited 7 years and then break up with me. There is never a perfect time to break up with somebody. There is never a perfect time where a breakup is going to break even. Shout out to the script. Break even. That's not going to happen. Like, if somebody finds themselves, falling out the relationship and they're like, okay, I need to end this, they're going to end it. It's never a perfect time to end it. Better sooner than later, but it's never a perfect time to end a relationship. So you can't get mad at somebody like, I flew across the country, I came here, I did this, I did all this, and then you're breaking it off, you're ending this. you can't be mad at somebody for saying, hey, I just don't see this going any further. I want to break it up. You cannot get mad at somebody for doing that. You can be upset that the relationship ending, you're hurt that it's over, but you can't be like, I did this, and I did this, and we not married, and I did this, and we're not married, and I waited 7 years thinking I'm gonna get this ring. Or are you dating the person for that person? Or are you just dating them because you want to do a checklist? Because you want, like, okay, ring, check, kids, check. Are you doing it because you're like, this is what I should be doing. I should be married by this point. I should be done this. Or are you dating somebody for the actual person? If you date for somebody for the actual person, it wouldn't matter what you're doing. Like, you won't feel like you're wasted time. You're dating a person like, I'm looking for a person that best fit me. You're not going to feel like you're wasting time. You'll be like, okay, you know what? We broke up. It hurts. I'm upset. I wasn't expecting it. I thought we were gonna work on it. I thought we were gonna get better. I thought we were gonna improve. You decided to end it. Like 7 years of my life wasted. No, don't look at 7 years of life wasted. Don't look at your relationship like that. It wasn't wasted 7 years. There's times you had fun, and take the times that you didn't have fun, take what you learned from it, and be like, okay, I didn't like that. I like this. What can I do in my next relationship to find, the best thing that works for me? What can I do to find the best person that fits me? What can I find to avoid these traits? What do I see here? You take that 7 years and learn from it. But don't be like, I wasted 7 years. Now, to Amani, who said, like, you shouldn't be doing wifey things while a girlfriend. The ring, at the end of the day, it puts established, bond and establish forever and establish, lifetime and that you guys are never going to split, whether, for bad and for worse, you're never going to split. To death do us apart. But the thing is, people still get divorced. Divorce still happen. Jerry Freed, one of my favorite comedians, he has said this, and it's a good quote. 9 out of 10 relationships end in a divorce. And 9 out of 10 relationships end in a breakup. The 10th one end in a divorce 50% of the time. That's a horrible way to look at dating and look at marriage, but he's not wrong. So you're looking to date the best person that matches you, looking to marry the best person that matches you, but at the same time, somebody can get married to you, fly you out to another part of the country, y'all both living together, and after 2 years of marriage, decide to get a divorce. A year of marriage, decide to get a divorce. It doesn't, the ring at the end of the day, if they're going to break up with you, they're going to break up with you regardless of ring, regardless of status. If they're out, they're out. So keep that in mind. Ask yourself, though, when you see this coming, ask yourself, or you don't see this coming, and it happens, ask yourself, what could you done better in a relationship? What did you learn from the relationship? Realize the relationship gonna come to the end. Whether that did you want to or not, a relationship gonna come to the end, whether that is in death, or whether that ends in a breakup, or whether that ends in divorce. Those are 3 ways the relationship is gonna end. In death, breakup, divorce. Those 3. And you have to be okay with that. Going into a relationship, eventually it will end. Hopefully the best case scenario ends in death, where you both live to y'all 90 years old, 80, 90, 100 years old, and y'all in the deathbed together and y'all die together like you see on The Notebook. Like, that'd be a picture perfect way, but that's not life. And you're not going to die together, but eventually one of y'all will pass away. Y'all make it marriage all the way to your twilight of your years, and you're sitting there on the rocking chair, look at the sunset. One of y'all are going to pass away. It's going to happen. So think of it that way. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario would be divorce in my eyes, because you guys stuck through it. Y'all got married. Y'all decided to plan this through, and y'all was like, y'all still couldn't work it out. And then the easiest one is a breakup, because a breakup, before y'all put the ring on it, before y'all invested more time in the situation, y'all broke up. But don't look at it as a wasted time. Don't look at it like, I invested all this time, invested all this stuff. Don't look at it that way. And back to Amani. It doesn't matter if you're married or matter if you're in a relationship. a divorce or breakup can happen. That can happen. She could have got married to him. They flew across the country. 2 years later, he broke up. 6 months later, he decided to get divorced. So don't act like, oh yeah, wait till your wife to do wifey things. No, do what makes you feel comfortable in your relationship. Do what you have in your relationship. Are you communicating? Now to Miss Gatonomy, Gat Money, I would ask her, Gat Money. I would ask her, what flags did you see? What flags did you see before this, before y'all moved together? Was there red flags? Were there signs here and there? Did you not, did you see it and you ignored it? Did you see that, okay, it was there and I just, passed it by? Were there some deal breakers? You was like, it's fine, it'll get better. I'll ask her that, what do you see in this relationship that before you made that move, they'd be like, okay, we might not work out? Or did you think, okay, if we don't work out, what can happen? Well, the worst case scenario, if I move here and it doesn't work out, what's the worst thing can happen? Did you ask yourself that? And I know it's a horrible way to look into a relationship, but at the same time, you also got to invest in yourself too. You just can't invest solely on your partner. You can't expect your partner to do everything for you. If you're doing that and that partner decides to end a relationship, then you find yourself sitting on an island wondering, where do I go from here? How do I move here? How do I navigate here? So my question is, when you decide to move, were you still investing in yourself? Were you still doing these things to make yourself feel better, make yourself valuable? So when that time came and you didn't, you don't expect it, but when it happened, you're like, I'm good. The whole world is not crashed. Yes, it sucks I no longer have a partner. Yes, it sucks that we broke up. Yes, it sucks that, it's over and these feelings are valid. But I'm not, crap on a rock in the middle of the ocean and just stuck here and can't move anywhere. You're like, all right, at least I got my, my speedboat. I can go make something and get on my feet somewhere and figure out my next step in life. Yeah, I still invest everything in this person where they just, left me out to dry. Ask yourself that. Are you still investing in yourself? If you're investing in yourself, you're good. But if you're not, that's the way you don't want to be in that situation that she's in, where she felt like she left her whole life behind to move on with this guy who broke up with her 7 years later. Getting abandoned, she calls it, after 7 years. It's not abandoned. A relationship came to an end. You just had to be prepared for that. So don't stop investing in yourself when you get into a relationship with somebody. Don't expect that person to be your whole world. That the person you're dating, your person you get married to, shouldn't be your whole world. If they go away, that you can't function as a human being. You gotta keep functioning as a human being. Always say, find a person that matches best with you, that fits best with you, that fits in part of your life. They're not your life. And that's how you prevent from being abandoned after 7 years. All right, next video. This one is from Don't Trip, We Got You. So here we go.
What are some signs that you and a person aren't meant to be?
Oof. Don't trip.
We got you.
Some signs that you're not meant to be.
This one's gonna hurt a lot of y'all feelings.
Yeah, it might.
If he's not texting you all the time, he don't want you.
Ooh.
If he's not calling you all the time, or if he can't call you, or if he's busy, he doesn't want you.
She's not lying. Even if I am too busy and I want you, I'm gonna let you know I'm too busy.
Exactly. I'll be like, I'm busy at this time, but I could see you throughout the day at this time. Even if it's for the shortest amount of time, you're still trying.
Ain't no way I'm trying to get at a girl and I'm not texting her back.
Exactly.
I'm not letting her know what's happening.
Exactly. I mean, some of us are a little bit delusional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me being one of them.
But does this lead to overthinking though? Say buddy actually fell asleep or took a nap, you'd be like, oh, he hasn't texted me back in 2 hours.
Yeah, if I don't get a text in like 2 hours, I am going to start overthinking. I'll be like, where is he at? What is he doing? Who is he with?
Okay.
Loki turned into Job, but not the crazy kind.
All right. Some signs that's not meant to be. So not communicating is one. That is one. Person doesn't communicate and doesn't value your time and not let you know, like, hey, not communicating you back. You're hitting them, and you're sending like 4 text messages in a row. They're not responding back to you, and they're not like telling you like, "Hey, I was asleep," or "I was doing this. I'm about to be busy for a few hours." Now, this depends on how far y'all are into dating. It's like this is like you've been dating for a month, and you guys are talking, not relationship, just dating, talking stage, and like, "Hey, I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that." Kind of give you guys a heads up on what you're expecting. Because the communication is important. If they don't value communication, they don't respect your time. At least give you the heads up and knowledge that, hey, I'm going out, I probably won't be able to respond back, or I'm out right now, I'll text you when I get back home, or whatever the case would be. that right there, it just gives you a little heads up on what's going on. So communicating, I do agree with them in that sense, where they're not being a good communicator. They're just pretty much leaving you on red, not responding back to you for 2 or 3 days, and you're like, I was messaging you Friday night, or like Friday evening, but I'm about to go out where you're gonna be at, and I'm getting a response back on Tuesday morning. I'm like, I've been busy. Nah, you saw my message Saturday. You saw my message Sunday. You didn't really want to respond back to that. So that's one sign I would say, if they're not communicating and let you know, like, hey, giving a heads up, or even trying to have a conversation with you, or at least get you off the apps and meet you, or off the text message and meet you in person. They're not trying to do that, and not just a late night thing, but like throughout the day, take you out and do things. That's what I would say communication. That's where it's not meant to be. Another thing, if you guys are not compatible in a sense, where you guys are arguing all the time and yelling at each other, or y'all can't stand each other, or one person, you can't stand the other person, it's not meant to be. Don't try to force something. You find yourself talking to somebody, you just can't stand them, and you're like, I'm getting annoyed by every little thing they do, or I don't, I see myself not really fitting well with them. Then it's okay to like say it's not meant to be. Like the girl in the first video, she's like, I don't find myself, I don't find myself sexually vibing with them, sexually being, connected to them. Am I wrong for putting a friend zone? It wasn't meant to be. Like, you're not wrong for putting that person in a friend zone. You find that sexual chemistry not there. It's okay. It's okay. So don't try to force something where it's not meant to be. But if it's like a little thing, like, oh, I want the way they wear flip flops. Well, that's just being petty. Like, come on now. But it's a thing of like, every time I talk, they cut me off. And every time I try to have a conversation with them, they cut me off. Or I want to do something, they always got to say something, or reject me, or throw me down, or knock me down, give me every time I say something, they nagging at me, and we're not even in a relationship yet. It's not meant to be. You want something, they always talk, every time you talk to them, they always like, you feel like they're belittling you and making fun of you, and you're not comfortable with that, and you're not okay with that. It's not meant to be. It's okay to be like, hey, you know what? I don't like being called nicknames. I don't like as in like mean nicknames, like big head or little feet or whatever the case may be. Like I don't like that. I don't think that's helpful to anybody to be mean in that sense. You're just being mean. You're saying like, oh, you're too tall. How to get up there? Like, why would you say that to me? Or you're too short. You're like my little short buddy. Like, why would you say that to me? Like, if you find yourself in a situation where you're like, every time you talk to them, they kind of like throw things out like, oh, they're my little buddy, my little this. You're like, yeah, I get it. I'm not as tall as you. You don't have to keep reminding me of that. Or they say things in front of you like, oh, I wish she was taller. I wish I had this. And you're like, I'm not providing that. I'm right here, but I can't provide that for you. I can't change my height. I'm sorry. Like, then maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe you're not comfortable in that relationship because whatever they asking for, you can't provide them. Like, it is what it is. So that right there. Also, their values don't match your values. If you're like, all right, well, I want to have 4 kids, and they're like, I don't want to have kids. Maybe it's not meant to be. It's okay to be like, okay, well, I want to find somebody to have kids. I'm cool with having you as a friend, but I really want somebody who wants to have kids. Don't expect somebody to change. Be like, well, they'll change eventually, because out of one or two things going to happen. They're going to get together, they'll have kids, and they're going to resent you for having kids. They're like, why do you have to have kids? Why do we have to have kids? I didn't want the kid in the first place. Or they're going to break up with you because you guys never had kids. You're never going to have the chance to have kids, and y'all didn't want that. So, like, ask yourself, do you have the person want to get married? The person have the same values regarding kids, the same like ideas of what the relationship is supposed to be. And there are two different things. Like, you want somebody who's always around and who wants to stay in and don't want to go out, and they have somebody like, I want somebody who wants to go out all the time. You're like, I don't like going out, and they like going out. And that going out meant like not to the club. I mean, like, they want to go to the festival, they want to go to the event, they want to go to the museum, they want to go to the store, they want to go. They always want to be outside, and you don't want to be outside. Then it's not meant to be. I have two life clashes. Here's somebody who like, I want to be inside 24/7. I feel better sitting at home watching a movie, and they're like, I'd rather go out and go to Cider Fest and see the apple cider and see all the apple fest, the apple trees or the sunflowers or whatever it can be. Pumpkin patch, it's fall time now. And they don't want to be that. Don't try to like keep them in, because they're gonna find themselves getting bored and like not being satisfied in a relationship, and vice versa. You'd be like, I want a partner who just stays in all the time, and you don't want somebody resenting. So those right there, clashes. If you guys' value clash and you guys don't have, and you get conversating and one person's resenting and don't like it, that's how you know you're not meant to be. That can be a month, 2 months, 3 months, like before you establish a relationship. That's how you know. All right, next video here. This is from Cassia West. Let's see what she says.
It is so frustrating when all you're trying to do is get sympathy from your man, and instead they just act like you're an idiot for not coming up with all these simple solutions that they came up with. For a woman, just talking about your problems is a form of release, but men only talk about problems if they want to solve it. So they're trying to solve all of your problems. All you want them to do is just listen and be nice, and it would solve everything. But instead, all you get from them is, oh, you should have done this instead. Like, thanks.
All right, we gotta break that down. So men are problem solvers. That's what we like to do. We like to solve problems. We don't like to sit there and complain and whine about situations. We want to be like, okay, here's our problem. Let's fix it. Let's keep going. We don't sit here and wait hours on end and complain about something that, like, if we can't fix it, we're not gonna sit there and complain about it. We'll be like, okay, it is what it is, but we will, move forward. We'll be our eye on it. But if we can fix it, we're gonna solve the problem, because we don't want people to be upset. We don't want our lady to be upset. We don't want the just have this negative energy around us. We want to fix the issue, have peace, and keep it moving. Ladies, if you know how to solve a problem and you know what the answer is, but you just want to rant, let your husband know, or let your boyfriend know, or let your partner know that, hey, can I rant to you for a moment? Give them a heads up. Can I rant? Can I just go off on a tangent here for a moment? I don't need a response. I don't need an answer. I just want to speak to you. Is that okay? Give that guy a heads up so that way he knows, oh, okay, you just want to talk about it, so you don't want to actually know the result. You're a human being. You're a person, so you know what your solution is to your issue. You just want to rant about it. So give your husband a heads up, or boyfriend a heads up, or partner a heads up that you just want to rant before doing that. And then men, sometimes take a moment before answering her, before responding, just ask her before, because this is what I have learned to do in my relationships, is I will ask the question of, would you like an answer, or do you want me to listen? Because I can listen and just be an ear for you. I'm perfectly fine with that. Or do you want me to answer you and give you an actual solution to the issue? If not, fine, I'll be an ear, but let me know. I actually have done that where I'm like, do you want me to just be an ear at this point in time, or do you want me to you want a solution to this? Because you want me to be an ear, I'll be an ear. I'll listen. You want a solution, I'll be on problem solving mode and be able to answer you. So men, I would say, when your girl's going on a rant and she's done talking, before you say give a solution, I would say, do you want to answer, or do you want me to just listen? And sometimes your lady will appreciate that. Be like, no, I just need an ear to listen to. I know what I need to do. And that would solve that issue there. Because yeah, that right there is something where it's easy to fall in that trap into. You don't listen to me because you're trying to solve a problem. So ladies, let your man know that, hey, I just need a rant. I'm gonna go off on a rant. I know that's hard to do sometimes because you're already going into it. And men, before you respond with an answer, before you respond with the solutions to the problem, ask her, do you want to answer? Do you just want an ear to listen to? And that will pretty much fix that issue 9 times out of 10. Next video here is another Cassia West, or Cassia West, Mariah, I don't even know how to pronounce her name. Cassia West. Here we go.
Man has to be on his girl's side, especially if it's in public, and even more so if it's about another girl. Even if you don't logically think that she's correct, it doesn't matter. You're not a referee. Your job is not to be impartial. Your job is to be her man. If you do disagree with her, you better make sure it doesn't sound like you're siding with another female. What are you trying to do? Make another woman feel more special? Trust me, you are not doing that girl any favors. All she's gonna see is a guy who disrespects his woman.
That's toxic to me. That is a toxic relationship to me. I would not have a conversation in public. That's not going to be the conversation I have in public. But I definitely will, afterwards in private, talk to my girl, pull her to the side and say, babe, you was wrong about that topic. Like, you're going in on somebody about something that, like, let's say you can Google the answer to, and it's not opinion based. you wasn't right. I'll be upfront and honest in private to have that conversation with my lady. Now, if she brings me into the conversation and I realize it's an opinion conversation, a conversation about opinions, and it's not there's no like logic to it. It's assumptions and basis like that. And it's not a conversation about debate. It's a conversation just like, well, I believe that this person's doing this and this and this. What do you think? And they're arguing. I'm not gonna step into that. I'll be like, I'll probably be like, huh, I really don't have a thought on that. And leave it at that. I'm not gonna pick sides. I'm not gonna try to open an argument, because what value do I get out of this by my girl being mad at me because she's arguing with somebody else over something that doesn't matter a year from now? Like, I will have a conversation in private, but like, don't put your man on the spot. Don't be like, well, hey, I need your answer right now, because you do that, then if he give you the honest answer, don't be upset with him for giving the honest answer. If he give you his honest thoughts, don't be upset with him. You be like, well, I disagree with you. That's fine. We can disagree. That's fine. But don't be upset that he's gonna give you an honest answer. If he give you an honest answer because you asked for it, don't be upset about it. If you're gonna force him to speak and he give you the honest answer, don't be upset with it. Now, it's over another girl and about the opinions of another girl. Why would you put your man in a situation about that? Like, unless you feel like he's doing something where he's like cheating on somebody, or this girl's flirting with you and he's like, oh, I don't see it, but like, and you explain that this is how it is. You're like, oh, okay. He's like, all right, I'll make note of that. But he's like, nah, she ain't flirting with me, and you already have a suspicion of something going on. That's different. But just to pick an argument with somebody and then try to say, I need you to side me regardless if I'm wrong. That's toxic. That's not what humans should do to each other, regardless of guy or girl. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Like, if you're gonna have a disagreement, do it in private. Don't do it in public. Do not put your partner in a situation where they find themselves yelling at each other in public. Before you find yourself yelling at your partner in public, that's not cool either. So don't try to pick fights in public. If you have a disagreement, handle it in private. Last video here. This is from official Christian Walker. So see what he has to say.
Before you're taken off the market by a man, you should have 4, 6, 8 men in your phone at a time. Oh, absolutely. Let's take the number up to 12. And this is not just me talking out the side of my mouth. This is historical. When men used to have to go to women's families and ask for their daughter's hand in marriage, there were multiple men coming for her at a time, and they were picking which man was best for her. It wasn't the man exploring a ton of options while the woman desperately wanted this one and she sat waiting around like a clown while he explored the whole town. No, that's what happens today, is women feel shame to get to know multiple guys at a time, when meanwhile men are doing it. So that guy you like, that you're not in a relationship with, he is dating multiple girls right now. He doesn't feel the need to tell you, because he's like, well, we're in the talking stage. We're not dating. I can get to know multiple women at a time. That's never how it's been historically, where women just wait around begging this one guy to marry them or take them off the market. No, you go explore your options. Women have been shamed and called names so that now they desperately wait on one guy. You should be exploring all of your options, queen. End of discussion. This has been going on throughout history. Women always had multiple options. You look in the animal kingdom, it's men acting fools to impress the female so that the female will mate with them. Every animal, just about every animal, the men act like clowns so the woman gets with them. So you need to be doing that in your dating life right now.
Preach on, Christian. Preach on.
Before you're taking...
Yeah, preach on. I agree with him so much. So much. Especially in that talking stage. There's no relationship on it. There's no DTR, no defined relationship. You're not exclusive. What's exclusive to me is just a relationship. Find a way to circumvent a relationship by having that actual relationship. I agree with him cold-heartedly. Ladies, have multiple options. If you're in a talking stage with somebody, have multiple options. Keep your options open. Do not emotionally fantasize of what this relationship could be with this one person. No, that guy is not sitting there telling you like, hey, I want to take you out. I want to actually be my girlfriend. And y'all been talking for 3 months and he hasn't defined a relationship just yet. keep your options open. Keep your options open. Do not be sitting there like, oh, is he gonna choose me? He's gonna choose me. No, be like, I chose you. Remember, you're the prize at the end of the day. You are the prize. So you need to tell him like, I chose you, not you choose me. I chose you. I decided to say no to this guy over here, no to that guy. I decided to pick you, and she would have the same thing for him. Like I said, no to her, no to her. I just decided to pick you. So you are the prize. You select your partner, not the other way around. Your partner should be sitting there and be like, all right, babe, I see you. I'm going to keep you over there. I'm going to go over here. Oh, any, meeny, miny, you. No, you be like, I want to have my options open too. And y'all both come together and y'all both had a conversation. Y'all both talked and y'all decided to go into a committed relationship with it. Y'all both down with that. There you go. You're good. But you keep your options open too. Do not close yourself off just because you're in the talking stage and you think you found somebody who be like, oh, this is the one, this is the one. Because when 2 weeks down the line, you're like, yeah, I'm done with you. I don't want to talk to you. Or I'm actually talking to another girl. And you're like, oh, heartbroken. I thought we were supposed to be the one. I thought we were supposed to be together. This is supposed to be us. I had the story written out. We were supposed to get married on this day 10 years from now. No. Keep your options open. Yes, you can be crushing on somebody. You can be like, I don't really want to talk to this person. I want to talk to that person. I'm going to keep my eye on this. You can do that, but keep your options open just in case that talking stage falls through and you're like, instead of being heartbroken, you can be like, you know what? At least I tried, So keep your options open. Don't shut the door. Keep swiping. Keep talking. If somebody comes up to you and you find yourself getting hit on, that person dragging their feet to define a relationship, the other person dragging their feet to define a relationship, at least you know, like, hey, you waited too long. It sucks. I'm talking to somebody else who I found more interesting and find a little more, who's going to be more invested in me. I'm more invested in them. And if this doesn't work out and you happen to be around, we come around to each other, we'll see what happens. If it doesn't, hey, it was a pleasure meeting you. So, ladies, definitely keep your options open. I wholeheartedly agree with him on that. All right, Reddit time. So here we go with the first one. My girlfriend, female 27, show her friends our personal text messages. Should I be mad and how should I confront her? This is from a guy, 28 years old. My girlfriend went on holiday to Mexico for 2 weeks. Whilst she's been away, we have been sexting each other's, no pictures, just typing, which I understand the impression that this is private between me and her. Now my girlfriend has come back home and I have found out her 3 friends have been shown and read everything I sexted to her while she was on the trip, which really annoys me as I feel this should have been private, but am I overreacting? Too long didn't read. Girlfriend shared / shown our sexting conversation with her friends. Do I have the right to be annoyed and should I even consider saying anything to her? You can be annoyed, and when you come to talking to her, just say, hey babe, I didn't appreciate you sharing those text messages with your friends. I thought we had a private conversation. From my viewpoint, sexting was private. I thought it was a private thing. I don't feel comfortable with you sharing that with your friends. I would open up with her when you're having that conversation, like, babe, just want to let you know, I kind of feel, there are, our sexting conversation got a little out of hand by you showing your friends. I wish to keep that private. Just sexting between the two of us is more personal. It was a more personal thing that didn't want to be shared with your friends. And I would say I appreciate you going forward if you didn't share those messages with your friends down the line. That's how I would talk to her about that. Like, I appreciate you. I love you. I feel that you sharing those messages with your friends made something that was private and intimate, not as private and intimate anymore. And I feel comfortable going forward if you didn't share the messages that I sex you with your friends. Like, you can talk about that kind of stuff with your friends. Like, oh yeah, he sexed me, but I don't share like what the details of it. And if because she's also a human being, remind yourself of this, she's a human being, but if she understands and like see where you're coming from, and say like how you want that to be a private thing and don't want to be shared with your friends, like all that information get out that you guys are sexing and details of your sexing stuff is, then she would be like, okay, I respect you. I won't do that. But if she like flips out like, well, my friends do that. My friends share their stuff with all their friends. Then you might want to ask yourself, this is something you can, stay in a relationship with. Not saying you should break up, but it's definitely a flag that you might have to ask yourself, like, is this a flag that you can, a boundary you can like say like, hey, I'm okay with that boundary being crossed. I'm okay with that boundary being, not as stabilized, or you'd be like, no, this is a hard line for me. I don't want our sexing to be, shared. And if this turns to a fight, you gotta look at yourself, reevaluate your relationship and say, maybe y'all have different viewpoints on what it is, and maybe ask like, what's a good compromise between the both of us? Like, what can we do here to meet in the middle in the situation versus the extreme of like, all right, we're done, or like, okay, share with everybody, but I feel like my stuff is not my personal private life is not being respected, and I won't do it again. So talk to her about that. Tell her how you feel and see how she react to it, and see like there's a middle ground you guys can meet in when it comes to like sexting. Like, you can tell your friends we sex, but I don't appreciate you sharing the details of our love life in that sense. Next question. The girl I'm dating is going to a wedding with a date. This is pretty straightforward and simple. I've been going out with a girl. We only had 3 dates, no exclusive talk yet. Haven't even had sex yet, but we made plans to keep dating. So she's going to a wedding next week as her male friends plus one. They're getting a hotel room. I don't know anything about this guy or the background of him, but how should I feel about this? What he's asking. Obviously, she has a life before we started dating. We're not even exclusive, but that doesn't mean, one, the wedding and the hotel should make me feel all giddy inside. I told this to a friend, and they said that this is a red flag. What do you think is going to happen in the hotel room? The friend said to him. I feel kind of shitty and anxious about this. How would you feel? Is this a red flag? Y'all not exclusive. Y'all only been on 3 dates, so let's say that's 3 weeks. A date a week. 3 weeks. You're not exclusive. This wedding wasn't planned next week. This wedding's been established for a while. Another thing, keeping to contact here, again, a hotel. It's probably easy to share a hotel room. The person is probably a friend of hers. Also, the wedding's probably not in town. If they're going to a hotel, the wedding is probably, away out of town. You shouldn't feel any kind of way about this. Let her live her life. Let her go to the wedding. If she's taking a friend, don't think anything about that. Like, if she still talks to you and after the wedding, you guys are good. Remember, you're not exclusive. You're only 3 dates in. You're not exclusive at all. Therefore, what she does not matter away from what you guys are talking about. You keep your options open. You keep dating too. You shouldn't be like, oh my gosh, she's going on a date with somebody, to a wedding with somebody. We're not exclusive. One, exclusive doesn't mean she's taking you to a wedding that happened established. Like, let's say this wedding was planned a year from now or 6 months from now. You wasn't even her life, dude. You can't be like attached to this person so quickly. Let yourself settle in. Give you some time. Keep your options open. And be secure within yourself that, like, hey, she's going to keep talking to you after the wedding. You guys are good. But don't be sitting there like, she shouldn't go to this wedding with this guy. What's she going to do? Is not go to the wedding with her friend? She's a plus one for her friend's wedding. Like, she's going to say, oh, I'm talking to a dude. I'm not going to go to this wedding. Nah, bro. Relax. Let her have fun. You go off. You keep your options open. It's only 3 days in. A month from now, y'all might not even be talking to each other. So I wouldn't say that. And then say, hey, we need to be exclusive 3 days in. Nah, man. Even if y'all was exclusive, she's a plus one. She's invited to somebody's wedding. This is not a red flag at all. Not at all. Girlfriend of 5 years sent news to a guy she met before me. I moved from Indiana to Illinois 5 years ago to be with my girlfriend, and our relationship has been great for the most part up until now. It's always great until this part. I recently saw her on Snapchat and saw her Snapchat another guy she used to talk to before me, exchanging nude pictures with each other. I asked her about it and she claims it escalated and that it wasn't supposed to happen. She also says that she hates herself on the inside and needed an outside voice to tell her that she was beautiful because she has issues with her body and always has since she was younger. She wants to be with me forever and is willing to change for me and go to counseling. She says the person sending in the pictures was not her. She was in a dark place. I'm not sure if I believe her. Any advice would be great. This is a huge red flag. If this is a boundary in your relationship as cheating, if you consider this cheating, because it escalated to news, you're sending news to somebody else, that's not even a red flag. That could be a deal breaker for some people. So it depends on what you're looking at in your relationship and look at, okay, 5 years. If you didn't see her on Snapchat and see her actually snapping somebody, look over and see her like sending news to somebody, if you didn't see that and that could have escalated her cheating and you're like, okay, cheating for me is physical contact, we're done. She is emotionally cheating. That right there you can say is emotionally cheating. You have to ask yourself, are you comfortable enough with being in a relationship with her and let her, work on herself and try to get better and improve and won't let this happen again? Or are you like, you know what? I'm not comfortable with this. I think it's time for me to end this. Like, I don't feel comfortable with you sending news to somebody else. I'm your boyfriend. I know. Are you doing the things to make sure she still feel comfortable and beautiful? She's getting validation for somebody else right now. She said she's in a dark place. She was in a darker place and sent pictures off, but she don't feel comfortable in her skin. One, she said she's gonna go to counseling, so that's good. So she don't go work on herself. But also ask yourself, are you still validating her? Are you still giving her like, babe, you're beautiful, babe, you're gorgeous? Are you telling her this? Are you making sure that she like feel validated where she would feel like she didn't get that attention from somebody else? That's what she's doing. She's getting that attention from somebody else, and that dude gave her attention. Now she's sharing news, so now she's on the verge of pretty much leaving. So it's up to you to say like, I'm gonna stay around and see how well this works out, or I'm gonna call it quits and say we need to break up and move on. I can't get over this. So it's going to come down to what you're looking for in the situation, because she already showed her cards. She said she's going to try to get better. So you can sit like, be supportive. Like, all right, 5 years, I'm going to be with you. We'll help you out. I'll be supportive. I got you, babe. Constantly keep hyping her up. Keep telling her she's beautiful. That way she's trying to go get that attention from somebody else. Or if you want her to, she can post pictures on Instagram and make bikini pics and get validation from men that way. That way she's not getting it in the DMs. That's another card out there, which can lead to another thing. But if she wants to get validation, that's one way she can do it versus sending news to a dude that she used to talk to, that she had some kind of relationship with, because that right there is going to lead to her cheating. Just giving a heads up. So if she just needs male attention, she can definitely post on Instagram and get that male attention. She wants that. But ask yourself, are you hyping her up where she feel like she don't need that attention from other men? She got that attention from you, and she believes that you believe that she's gorgeous and beautiful and sexy. Are you doing that for your girl? If you're not, that's how that can happen. But yeah, look at yourself right now. To me, this is her sinning is at 5 years. This is a red flag, and it's on the verge of like, this is emotional cheating and could be a verge of actual physical contact and breaking up, because she's not sending news to you. She's sending news to somebody else. So I'm like, what are you doing here? So I want to be like, all right, I'm going to give you a chance. If this happens again, I'm done. That's what I would go in the situation. Like, I'll give you the chance, but if it happens again, I'm out. I'm not going to sit here and establish this. Because what do you define, you talk to yourself, what do you consider cheating? If this is what you consider cheating, then you're out. If you don't consider this cheating, you consider this a red flag, then all right, you can let that sit, but you can't get mad at her if she does it again. If she does it again, you gotta be done. You can be like, hold it. You can't hold this to her and be like, one day you did this, so I'm gonna do the same thing. You can't do that. Don't be petty that way. Say, this is what I'm going to, I'm gonna accept that this happened, and I'm going to move forward with it and move forward in life, and move forward in our relationship together. Last question, we'll call it a night. My female friend, 24, blocked me after I showed up with someone else where she works. I am a 29-year-old male. I used I use and I still go to a coffee shop where this beautiful woman works there. Suddenly, one day she approached my table and said she likes the way I looked. I asked her out. We went out after her shift a few times, and she told me that right now she's only looking for a friend. So right now she's only looking for a friend. Then suddenly she started telling me that she was busy with her college 2 times on different days, and nothing bad happened from my side or hers. Yet, when I see her, she keeps telling me how she misses me, she loves me, and how good I'm looking. And all of what she used to do tells me that she's still interested in some kind of relationship. I stopped asking her out, but kept the communication as it was. Later on, she posted several photos showing that she was not busy. She went on a day vacation with her coworker, so I started dating someone else and brought her where she works. She didn't even say hi and blocked me the other day. Isn't that extremely weird? Why did she went nuts and ditch me? Dude, she wasn't looking for a relationship with you. Like, it's not weird. You took your date to the place where the person you were trying to date works. Yeah, she blocked you. She's trying to remove herself from the relationship with you. She doesn't want a relationship, but she doesn't want to be tempted to have a relationship with you. She's mad with you. She's upset for sure, but she blocked you because she wasn't trying to see you anymore. She figured that you got somebody else. She's like, okay, well, that's fine. He's not an option for me. I'm out. What she was doing, she was keeping you around, to be honest. She said she wasn't in a relationship. She don't want a relationship. She only see you as a friend. But she tell you how she misses you, how she loves you, that you still look good. She's keeping you as a roster member. She's keeping you in the background. So one day when she decides to go back into her bag of her men or potential partners, she'll be like, hey, what are you up to? You want to go on this date? So she didn't want a relationship right now. She wanted to do her own thing. And that's perfectly fine. That's a prerogative. What you shouldn't have done, you shouldn't have brought your date to the coffee shop. I wouldn't have done that because to me, that's kind of like you're being petty and kind of spitting in her face. Like, oh, you're going to go on a date with me, so I'm going to take somebody else and show her off in front of you. No, that's playing games. You should take the girl to a date to somewhere else. And after time of months of y'all talking, then you want to go back to your coffee shop with her, you can. But I wouldn't took the date to the coffee shop because she was working there. She saw and she was like, all right, I'm out. But as far as everything goes, she wasn't looking for a relationship. She told you that she only wanted friends, but she's keeping you around, so keep you on a string because she wanted to see how hard you're going to try and work for her. And you was like, all right, I'm not going to be that way. You said you was busy. I understand that. I'm not going to waste my life. I'm not going to waste my time waiting for you to become free. I'm going to date. So that's the right thing you do. You did the right thing there. What you went wrong was taking your date to the coffee shop, and you shouldn't have done that. You should have took your date somewhere else. Continue to go to the coffee shop. If she asks, no, are you available? Are you seeing anybody? You be like, no, I am. You could be like, yeah, I'm seeing so and so. We met here. Everything's going good. You could have been that way versus trying to show somebody off in front of her. That's the wrong thing to do, and that's a bad way to handle dating. It wasn't right. It just wasn't right. So you was in the wrong for that, but you was in the right for moving on and let her live her life and have her things. So don't worry about chasing her. It's not if she wanted, if he they saying, if he wanted to, he would. If she wanted to, she would. Same here. So yeah, nah. You're good, bro. You're good. Just don't do that again. Do not bring somebody else to that coffee shop. You go to the coffee shop because you enjoy going to that coffee shop, enjoy spending time there, but don't go there to show somebody off in front of her. That's not cool. Not cool at all. All right, guys, that's the end of this episode. We're going to wrap it up there. If there's a question you want me to answer, please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys in the next episode of Nerdy Dating, and keep being awesome. Thank you for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I really appreciate it. If there's another episode you want to watch, you can look at it right there. If you want to subscribe to the page and watch more content, it's down here. Also, you have a question about dating you want to put in the comment section, go ahead and do it. Or you can send me your dating question to my email of alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. And I will answer your question on the next episode of Nerdy Dating. Thank you so much for watching the show. I appreciate you, and keep being awesome.